Hello, my name is Dr. Kara Pickens, and today I will be sharing with you a lesson about how having a more positive outlook about certain obstacles in our life can help us to be happier. I will be teaching this lesson through the story Hi Cat by Ezra Jack Keats. I want you to start today by getting a piece of paper or using your graphic organizer worksheet provided for you and making a list of 10 objects, people, or ideas that seem like obstacles to you in your life. Obstacles are objects that seem to get in the way of our happiness. Sometimes these obstacles are our attitude. Sometimes obstacles are negative events that happen to us. Sometimes obstacles are the way that other people are treating us. So in the next section of this video, I'm going to share with you my list. Here's my worksheet on practicing a positive perspective, and I'm starting out by making a list of 10 things that seem like they're obstacles to my happiness. And these are just things that seem like they get in the way of being positive, or they're things that are hard to be positive about in my life. So one of mine is I feel like I don't have enough time all the time to get done what I want to get done. I often have extra grading to do. I'm a teacher, so I have grading to do, and that is never ending. Lately, it's been pretty bad weather, even though it's springtime, and so bad weather seems to get in the way of my happiness. There's a lot of news going on in the world that's really kind of stressful, and so that kind of feels like an obstacle. My kids don't always get along, so that's an obstacle. And my daughter right now is doing e-learning, and she is struggling with e-learning. She doesn't like to do it, so that's kind of frustrating for both of us. There are a lot of weeds in my garden, and again, don't have enough time, so they seem like an obstacle. Dirty dishes always seems like an obstacle in my life. Always have dishes to do. My other daughter is really enjoying being grumpy all the time right now this week, so that's kind of an obstacle. And everyone right now likes to be loud in my house, which makes it hard to do some of the work that I need to get done. I was trying to think of some of the things that felt like obstacles when I was a little kid to share with you too. And so one thing that was an obstacle when I was a kid is that I was always worried about my dad maybe losing his job. And there were a lot of times that there were layoffs at his factory that he worked at. And so that was really kind of scary. And I was always worried that we wouldn't have enough money in my house. So, and there were times when money was really tight. So that seemed like an obstacle. It sometimes was really hard for me to make friends in elementary school, and so that felt like an obstacle. I didn't always feel like I fit in, and that was really hard. And then I didn't always feel like I was like other kids, like I was the last person in my first grade class to lose a tooth, and I never had braces, and just those kind of things that made me feel like I didn't really fit in with my peers. So that's my list of 10 things, and then you're going to do the same thing. So I want you to keep those 10 things in the back of your mind while we work on another part of the lesson, and then we'll come back to that list in a little bit. Today, we're going to read a story about a boy who has an obstacle in his life. And as the story goes on, he shifts from having a negative perspective to a positive perspective about it. The shift in perspective enables him to be happier about his day. The story is called Hi Cat. It is written by Ezra Jack Keats. Hi Cat by Ezra Jack Keats. On his way to meet Peter, Archie saw someone new on the block. Hi Cat, he said as he walked by. He looked at his reflection in a store window. Peter was waiting at the corner. Make way for your old grandpa, Archie said in a shaky voice. He looked Peter up and down. My, Peter, how you've grown. Why, Grandpa, Peter said, it's good to see you. Hello, my children, Archie croaked. Hi, Grandpa, Susie giggled. Willie was so happy to see Archie, he ran over and licked his face. Archie tasted delicious. Willie licked and licked and licked. No respect for old age. Archie whispered something to Peter and ran off. "Stick around, folks," Peter called. "We have a surprise for you." When Archie got back, he and Peter worked while everyone waited. "Okay," Peter announced. "Make way for Mr. Bigface." A big paper bag appeared, then a tongue stuck out of one of the eyes. A hand came out of an ear and motioned everyone to move closer. They all obeyed. Suddenly, the bag began to shake. It shook harder and harder, and meow! People started to leave. Wait, the show'll go on. See, the tallest dog in the world take a walk, Archie shouted. Some show, Grandpa. Some tall dog. Who ate your mustache, Grandpa? Everyone walked away, laughing. No one was left except Archie, Peter, Willie, and the torn paper bag. It would have been great if it wasn't for that crazy cat, said Peter as they walked home. Said Archie. He sure stuck around. And all I said was, "Hi, cat," said Archie, finishing his story. "You're well rid of a cat like that," said his mother. Archie thought for a while. "You know what, Ma?" he said. "I think that cat just kind of liked me." In this story, Archie realizes that the cat who annoys him isn't really trying to be annoying at all. Instead, the cat's trying to be his friend. When he changes his perspective from negative to positive, Archie's able to find happiness about his day. Now, obviously, not all obstacles are positive. Some obstacles are truly challenging. Sometimes those challenges force us to work to change those situations. Some obstacles are impossible for us to change, and we have to acknowledge the ways in which they're a challenge to us. But there are other obstacles we face that improve once we figure out a way to have a more positive perspective about them. Sometimes we can even find ways to be happy about what is currently happening if we can find ways to have a more positive perspective about them, just like Archie. In the next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to fill in the rest of your graphic organizer. Earlier, as we were filling in this graphic organizer, we made a list of 10 things that felt like obstacles in our life that kept us from being happy. And so I modeled with a list of 10 things that I felt like were obstacles in my own life, and you should have that done already. For the second part of this worksheet, we're going to kind of be like Archie, and we're going to try to think of some of the positives in these situations. And for the second part, you're just going to choose 3 of those 10 obstacles you listed, because maybe there are obstacles that are really, really challenging to think of positives right now. Or maybe there's obstacles that feel like we can't really change them a lot. So we're going to pick 3 that we feel like we can practice working on being more positive and having a positive perspective about. So here's my modeled examples for you. I chose 3 of the objects on my list. If you want to do more, you can. But what you're going to do is you're going to pick 3 of them. So I picked not having enough time, weeds in my garden, and having dirty dishes. And I tried to work on having a positive perspective about it. So for that first one, not having enough time, I wrote a sentence that said, "When I am busy, it means that I have meaningful work that I love." And I really do. It's easy for me to think, oh, I feel stressed right now, or I have so much to do. But really, I love what I do. I love teaching. I love being a mom. I love being a wife. So those are things that I love. And so it means my life is really full when I'm busy, and it's full of good things. Okay, weeds in my garden. This was a little bit harder to think about. But I wrote this. Having weeds in my garden means the weather's getting warmer and the plants are growing. And that's something that's good, because when weeds are growing, it also means that flowers are blooming. And I could also think about how maybe when I actually get reading done, I can get some exercise in. So trying to think more of the positives of these situations. And then dirty dishes. This was very challenging to think about, but dirty dishes means that I've been able to cook food, and I love to cook food. And so if I have to have dirty dishes as part of that, then that's the trade off. And then it also means that my family's had food to enjoy to eat, and that's really a blessing to have. And so that's a positive perspective on those three things. So that's what you're going to do today in your activity. You're going to think about, how can I be like Archie? That at the end I'm thinking, oh, the cat just wants to be my friend. So hopefully this exercise helps you think through ways that you can think about the obstacles in your life and think about how to have a more positive perspective and to grow from them. Thank you.